Hello everyone, this is ACH AI Akaya, and we are in game number 6 right now in the show matchup between TLO and MaDFroG. And as we saw in that last game on Lost Temple, TLO seemed to be at a bit of a disadvantage in the early game to mid game, but then managed to get his way back into that game, taking the win and once again breaking that tie. They were tied at 2-all, and TLO is now up once again at 3-2. So MaDFroG going to be spawning in the lower right here as the red Zerg, and in the lower left we do have TLO playing as the blue Terran. This map is Kulas Ravine, a 4-player map, and there is a lot of expansions on this base and a lot of Xel'Naga watchtowers on this base to provide visibility. So this map is a very, very diverse 1v1 map, and I've seen some games played on 2v2 on it as well. It doesn't seem to suit the 2v2 mentality as well, but for 1v1 it's fantastic. It has a lot of diverse gameplay, and there are a lot of tactics that can be used on this map. I will say that sometimes it seems like it favors the Terran a little bit with pretty much all the ground, at least initially, moving towards the center choke point area here. You've got a Xel'Naga watchtower on each side here on the high ground with a ramp leading up to it, and then basically everything from each 4 corners funnels into that. There are some additional paths you can open up using these destructible rocks here to get to enemy expansions or even to get to your own expansions, and then these destructible rocks can then again lead another path into the high yield. So early game, using those choke points favors Terran definitely, but then once you get to the late game, if some of these destructible rocks are taken out and it opens up some extra space for units to have, you know, additional flanking positions and stuff like that available to them, it makes the game a lot more diverse, and there are definitely some Zerg favored tactics that can come into play that time. Just a quick note too here, MaDFroG putting down a relatively early hatchery here at his expansion, getting the hatchery it looks like around 16, and he does not yet have a spawning pool, so we may see a spawning pool going down here very shortly as well. But looking over at TLO's base, he does have his first barracks down and getting that supply depot in next to his command center rather than using it as part of a wall off. But anyways, one thing I did want to mention real quick before the game gets too involved here is that I know that me and Elisa mentioned a little while ago that we were doing a giveaway of a gaming mouse and a mouse pad, and it got extended to the end of this weekend right here. I just wanted to mention that really quick since I'm going to be uploading this video either tonight or tomorrow morning, and just let you guys know that we do have the winners chosen, and the registration for that is now closed. So we appreciate everybody that's subscribed so far, and once again, this is a huge thank you to our subscribers. We wanted to say thank you to you guys for checking out our videos and spreading the word, because we know that, you know, you guys are obviously the ones that make what we do worthwhile here. But we don't, like I said, we are not taking registrations for that anymore. Of course, you know, all you had to do to register was to subscribe to the channel, so absolutely recommend the channel to your friends. Get more people subscribing and watching these videos, and definitely we will try to get as much content out there for you as possible. But I am not going to be posting the video officially announcing the winners until mid this week. So as I mentioned, the winners are chosen. The contest is officially over, but the winners are not going to be announced until a little bit later this week. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. And also mentioned that once again this Friday is the start of the 2v2 tournament for that we're hosting through the SC2 Armory, is where all the registration is located. So go over to the sc2armory.com, and in the general section there is a thread created by Akaya, myself, which is basically laying out all the rules for the 2v2 tournament and stuff like that. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely go check out that community site. It's a great community site, and I did also want to mention that Shock Strategy Guide is putting up a prize pool for that. We're going to have some great prizes there. We've got a gaming mouse, a gaming keyboard, a gaming headset, and a gaming mouse pad, all up for grabs for the winning team. So I did want to mention that as well. But getting into this game here, we are getting some pretty serious action going on here. It looks like TLO trying to take down the destructible rocks to get up to his high ground expansion. In the meantime, he also has a starport going up, so we do see a 1-1-1 build from TLO right now, getting the factory, barracks, and starport here. One of each building, giving him the versatility to really go where he wants after this. And there are 2 Hellions trying to move into the back of MaDFrog's base here and do a little bit of harassment. That Queen is going to manage to poke some shots in there, but those Hellions doing a decent amount of damage here. It looks like each of them have 1 kill, and he did manage to do some damage to those drones that were hanging out, trying to be transferred over to the main base here. And Zerglings and Queen, or yeah, the Queen continuing to chase it down. This Hellion now has 4 kills. This one still only has 1, and just doing some great micro with these Hellions while he continues to try to attack on the front base as well, although there's 2 Hellions just apparently going at the spine crawler up there, not really able to do anything. And apparently MaDFroG able to take care of the 2 Hellions that were behind his mineral line here as well. So able to stop that harassment without having too many losses, and he did keep his expansion up and running here pretty healthily. And we are going to see the layer tech from MaDFroG right now, getting that layer tech out, and as you can see, already starting that creep highway, getting out to his main, and there is a lot of distance to cover between this natural and the main. So the creep highway in this particular base, especially when getting that expansion, is crucial so that you can move your forces back and forth to protect them relatively easily. And here come a couple of pretty early Vikings, going to try to do some harassment here possibly, and forcing those Zerglings to back off of those destructible rocks already. And then as you can see, the Vikings have just enough range here to really harass against this mineral line here. And the Queen coming up, and you can see, despite the fact that that Queen technically does have a melee attack against ground units, it does have a slightly ranged melee attack, so it can actually reach up those cliffs, although it is not going to be able to get into range here. Oh, and he's going to lose that Queen. And here come a couple more Vikings. This could be some very dangerous harassment. Also taking down an Overlord, it looks like, going to do a ton of damage here early on to the economy and the resource and the support here even of MaDFroG, and managing to take out another Overlord here, going to back off before these Vikings take too much damage, although there are 2 Queens out on the map now, but the 2 Vikings that are on the ground still continuing to harass here and managing to take out the extractor. And there are a ton of drones here that are going to have to go off of mining, and 5 kills for this one Viking already, and another 2 kills between the 2 Vikings over here, and it looks like one of them actually is kind of low, and more Vikings continuing to come out. So it looks like TLO going to commit pretty heavily to this Viking strategy, and actually MaDFroG trying to get a